Bum 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 bum
Drama.
bum. Ba-ba-da-ba-dun,
Action.
dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, dun, ba-dum, bam, bam,
Comedy.
ba-dum, tss, bum, ba-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun,
Palace intrigue.
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Clash of the Pencils. Oh, welcome. It is a chilly Pluto Day night here in Milford. We've got a great Story Squad matchup, Clash of the Pencils for you tonight. Really coming down to the wire here, folks, this week between Slice, Joanna Man, and Champion. They've been just at neck at neck, really, this whole week. And tonight, no different. All three in the finals, and I'm sure all three giving in some really great stories. Welcome back to the Clash of the Pencils nightly live stream. I'm your host, Tom Sherman. We're here as we are every weeknight to review the top three Clash of the Pencils submissions from around the net, get the latest scores, and see who's atop the leaderboard. Of course, we're going to check in with Storybot 3000 to get the top 5 sentences of the night as well. So we field anywhere from 0s to 10s of submissions daily, which then get run through our high-tech computer Storybot 3000, who uses, among other things, the internet's love for cats to analyze every story. We then take Storybot's top 3 picks and let you, the public, vote on them to determine tonight's winner. Alongside me today, we've got Gregular, the regular Peterson. Why do they call you the regular, Gregular?
I'm just searching cat videos to try to feed Storybot what he wants. Let's be honest. I'm regularly consuming a lot of cat content.
Right, you are regular. And before we get underway, let's remind the folks what exactly they're playing. All these athletes are playing for this week. And that is none other than this right here. This is the exclusive 1 out of 10,000 IOU NFT. This unique NFT is actually an IOU for a future NFT for an upcoming drop from Story Squad. Although the current estimated cash value is $100, that's not the full value of NFTs. Think of NFTs like keys to the future. Right now, as humans, we interact with businesses and organizations much like ants might their queen, slaving away day in and day out for resources to give to the queen so that she may survive. NFTs turn this one-directional relationship into a community partnership. Owning NFTs of organizations will allow those owners special perks like early access to future products, exclusive content behind paywalls, and access to the inner community. Not only that, but NFTs are transferable, allowing owners to sell at a premium, which in turn appreciate all other NFTs held by community members. So NFTs are part art, part online identity, part admission to a virtual country club, part crypto speculation, part generational wealth, and all real, baby.
Woo!
Wow. If that doesn't make you want to get out there and start writing short stories, I don't know what.
Can I start entering the contest, Tom? I need those NFTs.
That's fair point, Greg. I think there is no fine print. So you know what?
Family, friends, anyone.
Fair game.
Storybot needs stories.
Fair game. And not only that, you could probably submit multiple stories and
Whoa.
we would be none the wiser. I'm just kidding, folks. Please, one story per person, all right? Let's get real. But no, let's actually take a look at the leaderboard. Because right now, this is fascinating. This is fascinating, regular. The weekly leaderboard, Slice, Joanna Man, and Champion are all, it's between Slice and Joanna Man. As we know, Champion had a really rough start to the week, getting a 0 on Monday. And that's what's looking to be the big Achilles heel there for Champion. Slice and Joanna Man separated by a slim 25-point margin.
Anybody's game. It's going to come down to these last 2 days.
That's a fact. So let's just get right into it. And first, we'll remind everybody of today's prompt. This prompt brought to you by Dinotan, the only tanning lotion made by dinosaurs for dinosaurs. And what's really interesting about this prompt is there's not a lot of restrictions here for the writers tonight. I mean, there's no characters, there's no setting, there's no plot really. Even all we have is this nebulous commercial, I guess, and so a lot of room for the writers to run.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what's about to happen.
Me too. Me too. So we had Storybot analyze all the submissions and generate its favorite top 3 videos. And I think we're going to start. We're just going to go down the line from Slice, our current leader, and we'll see what Slice has to say about this Dinotan prompt. Don't be a pale Eosaurus this summer. Get your claws on Dinotan and support dinosaur-owned businesses, Damien said to his reflection. Haha, you look and sound vacuous, Lizzie said, looking into her own reflection, feet away, with her back to her brother. Do you even know what Dinotan stands for? Dine, leave me alone. I'm just trying to make some money for school next year, Damien said. All these companies are bad. I don't need a lecture about it. It's a volcano scheme. You have to sell a certain amount to be a boss, right? And then you have to recruit other boneheads to invest. Why do you think Mr. T-Rex lives by the tar pits now? Everything's a conspiracy to you. Remember when you said we weren't real? We're living in a simulation or something? Dinos want this. They want to support local, dinosaur-owned products and business dines like me and my friends. You're selling a promise of unattainable beauty standard. How many little durls like me look and see these models, skinny as rails, bleached blonde, posing on pedestals in museums? It's denomentral to our struggle to just belong. Try being a durl sometime. Dinos want to look good, and I can help, Damien said. What about pterodactyl testing they do to make it? Are you silent on that P too? Not to mention the environment. That can't be good for it. You want us to go extinct? Shut up. Here they come. Damien hushed, then stamped through the forest to greet friends who've walked into his territory, carrying a case of Dinotan awkwardly in his short arms. Dines, I'm glad you're here. Have an exciting ownership opportunity for you. So here we have a young entrepreneurial dino getting the business from his sister about his participation in a volcano scheme, also accusing him of promoting negative body imagery, ruining the environment, as well as unethical testing on pterodactyls before he heads out to push some product on his friends.
I love the social commentary here. It almost begs the question, if the dinosaurs hadn't gone extinct, is this the conversation they would be having right now? Mm-hmm. It seems like they're up against the threshold of what's possible as a civilization, and the social ills that plague us seem like they have found a corresponding, I don't know, dialogue in Dino World. This was an incredibly rich, I don't know, the language luxuriated in the puns. Dinomentral pterodactyl testing. It's a volcano scheme. We don't have the access for language on this pyramid, but if we did, Slice would be taking the slice of that every time. That was a weak pun compared to what Slice can do with pencil. I found. What do you think on character? I thought setting and the puns really made the world come alive. I am a little skeptical that the plot, there was nothing really happening. It was sort of just commentary, and there was some selling, but we didn't get a lot of bargaining or action. I don't know.
There was no real conflict in the plot. It never really seemed like Damien was going to reverse his course from this conversation. And it didn't really seem like Lizzie was going to change her mind either. So it was really a bit of a piece. social commentary piece. I like the characters. I thought it was an interesting little detail where the Lizzie says the Damien's being vacuous, but she's looking in the mirror herself, and she doesn't even know what Damien looks like necessarily, because she's not quite looking at him. I thought that was an interesting little tidbit. I can relate to the entrepreneurial spirit of a young dino trying to hustle, and maybe being involved in a volcano scheme, maybe, but at the same time, trying to get out there and make some money so that you can go to school and have a little walking around change.
There are two things that I loved. These are random, but I have written down the image of the short arms and trying to like open the short arms for here's the inventory. That
Right.
was really comically great.
Right. That is good.
I can totally see that. And then the other thing was like we got this little tantalizing gesture towards like a boss or a T-Rex living in the tar pits. I just wanted more. I felt like that was some angle to explore for some possible tension or conflict. If that's the guy at the top of the volcano scheme.
Oh, I took that as that is someone that's been taken for a run by the volcano scheme, and now they have to go live by the tar pits. They lost all their money.
Yeah, Apex Predator. I'm coded to think of that T-Rex atop the food chain, but no, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah. That's the sad irony, right? It's this apex predator that now has to, live down by the tar pits and scavenge, I would assume. But yes, strong opening overture here from Young Slice. Let's see if Juana Man can follow that up just as strong.
Ding-a-ling-a-ding-dong, ding-a-ling-a-ding-dong. That all-too-familiar theme song of the most annoying commercial blasted from the TV and reverberated into the unwanting eardrums of Tommy. Dinotan, the only tanning lotion made by dinosaurs for dinosaurs. Tommy hated everything about Dinotan's marketing. The voice of the too scaly, unrealistic-looking Tyrannosaurus Rex was 10 times worse than fingernails on a chalkboard. The entire commercial bugged him. Who wants to watch different types of dinosaurs lying in the sun and rubbing suntan lotion on themselves? Do dinosaurs even tan? What a dumb marketing campaign. Tommy's mood immediately changed once the commercial ended and his favorite show, Hands Around Town, came on. Tommy wiggled his waist a little bit to sink further into his pleather couch and sat there with one hand stroking the back of the head of the upper neck region of his mutt dog, Cooper, and the other hand wrist deep in a giant-sized bowl of popcorn. Tommy lived for Tuesday nights, where he could relax for the hour and watch his show. There was something about the lack of words and only the occasional bark that soothed his soul. Tommy found himself living vicariously through the adventures of the dogs on the show, and he was hooked to find out what happened next after the Swedish sheephound was caught by a labradoodle stealing a squash ball from a yard. Tommy enjoyed living alone. He didn't like compromising and prioritized doing his own activities over the company of others. It is not like he was antisocial. He would take his own dog to the dog park and occasionally had walk meetings over Zoom. He made small talk with the checkout lady at his grocery store, and he called his brother often. Well, once every few weeks. He just could not figure out why Dinotan had to ruin his sacred weekly activity.
So here's a man irritated that Dinotan commercial disrupts his Tuesday night ritual, watching a TV show about dogs. An interesting character piece grounded in the current notion of reality that we all have and not prehistoric times.
Yeah, this felt like the quiet desperation of 2021. It felt like somebody who's been in a pandemic, desperate to relate and missing out on it. Deep sense of irony and sort of detachment in a world suffused with the kind of, shrill shilling of products like Dinotan into every piece of interaction. It was noises, interruption, ring-a-ling-a-ding-dong. It's like the rings, pings, and dings that co-opt our attention. That felt very true. And it felt like it was sad. It was a lament. There was the tone there was the tone of wanting something but being unable to express it because Dinotan is the only thing we're able to think about anymore.
Right. Yeah.
I think character development was strong. Setting also strong. This was plotless, though. It was a snapshot or a panorama. It was a little slice of life, but there was no story, no conflict. I don't see how this gets any better. I don't see anything to oppose here.
It was very character driven. It did paint the picture very well. Both the person and the setting, like the imagery of settling down into the TV, into the couch to watch TV with the dog and popcorn, and the whole small town feel kind of walking to the dog park and chatting up with the cashier. But yeah, the major flaw here was the plot. Although, like, if this was a one page in a novel setting up, the character Tommy for the rest of the book, like that, this would nail it on the head. But for a full story here, one page right now, just plotless.
It reminds me of some of the minimalism pieces, where not a lot happens. It's just kind of a mood or an atmosphere. What would you say the tone of this atmosphere, if you had to say, like, what it feels to me like kind of ennui, existential dread. I almost wanted a fantastic something to come out and rupture or shake up or disrupt.
If this was a movie, it would be like very silent. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have any background music. It would it would just be like this guy silently walking around. Even the conversations would be soft and muted kind of, and then the one loud part of this whole day is this Dinotan commercial. Just ruins everything.
Like really loud, like bubblegum colors.
And he's like, oh, why? And just dies a little bit on the inside. This existential dread and desperation, I think, works well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, not last but not least, we're gonna have to take one look at the current third place champion.
You've got to listen to me. The fate of our world depends on it, screamed Dr. Dactyl as he was dragged off the Senate floor by a pair of Velociraptor raptors. Order! Order! Bellowed Senate Majority Carnivore Ty, a.k.a. Rano Rex. As the chamber quieted from the screams of the now-devoured scientist, Senator Rex stared down his meaty nose, adjusted his spectacles with his DinoCorp arm extenders, trademarked, skin bronzed from a daily Dinotan regiment. Gentle lizards, is there any truth to the claims of Dr. Dactyl that an impending meteor strike is being covered up by the government in favor of subsidizing DinoCorp lobbying interests? The panel of DinoCorp executives flashed beaming white razor-sharp incisors from behind their leathery, Botox-saturated faces, each uttering a decisive, "No, sir." Finally, DinoCorp CEO Packer Cephalus lowered his well-waxed, bald head into the microphone. There is no evidence that the bright object in the sky is anything more than a good reason to keep buying Dinotan. Session adjourned, roared Senator Rex.
So this begins with a scientist being dragged out of a government hearing, screaming of impending doom before being eaten by security. The Senate hearing resumes and is led by a senator seemingly bought and paid for by DinoCorp, asking DinoCorp executives to affirm what they all want to hear, and that's that there's no issue with the meteor or DinoCorp lobbying interests, and the CEO spins it as a reason to promote more Dinotan usage before the session is adjourned.
I love so much of this. Starting with just the playfulness of the language. It's a dystopian world. There's a lot of levels of sort of the upper registers of bureaucratic control. It's something that we all know well. And somehow the language the Velociraptor Raptors, the Senate Majority Carnivore. It plays with the hierarchies really nice, like this sort of dino world on top of it. I liked the opening way in terms of the plot. It draws you in with the fate of the world. Like, this is something of epic. If the last one was a very small moment, kind of poignantly described, this was a very large and loud moment, kind of at the opposite register. The language of kind of diplomatic aggression, gentle lizards, so good, the leathery faces, the corruption, the grab. This stunk to high hell, Tom. I knew what they were doing, even in Dino World. The game's the game.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It kind of mimics Slices in a couple regards to that angle of the social commentary of the current situations in our world as overlaid into a dino world. It was very intriguing. I enjoyed the dinosaur references. I mean, we had a pterodactyl, we had a Tyrannosaurus Rex, we had the Velociraptor Raptors, a Pachycephalosaurus. I mean, that's you don't get that mentioned every day.
Somebody's been on Wikipedia.
Yeah. There was time put into that world
research.
building.
There's research going in.
Yeah, and similarly, again with Slices, where the volcano scheme, it played up the setting very well. The plot seemed a little reversed, where the biggest suspense was in the beginning, where they're getting dragged out, and then it's more of like this disconcerting political thriller after that, without too much action beyond seeing the writing on the wall, as it were. But what's that?
Thing that's interesting, and when we consider all three stories kind of together, it's almost like three different levels of the same dystopian dinosaur future. That seems very much with analogies to the current climate that we're going through. If you think about this is sort of at the inner council of where actual policy gets made. And, the policy is that there is no news and we're going to keep on selling Dinotan. And then we've got the mid-level marketer, the pyramid, or the volcano ski, the kid trying to save up some spending money in college. Like, here's my Dinotan. And then we've got the guy who's just trying to pet his dog, and Dinotan is coming through, and that's it. No one's winning in this world. This is after the fall. This is true. There is no hope. There's no real agency for any of the characters to make any moves that matter across all of these stories.
Wow.
It was interesting that if you add them all up, it's with such a random plot, the fact that it's corporate and it has certain kinds of commercial overtures, people were able to project that into all these different rungs, but tell the same story. And that's one of stasis and sclerotic rot.
Wow. When you thread the needle like that, yeah, that's
we're a kids app. It's a kids story.
Yeah. as you all can tell. This is for the kids. So there you have it, folks. I mean, that's our opinion, but that doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, the only two opinions that matter here are one, Storybot 3000s, and number two, you, the people. So let's take a look out here and hit refresh on the leaderboard for the day, see where we end up. This could go any way, honestly.
Ring-a-ling-a-ding-dong. Oh!
Wow. Champion on top with 165. Joanna Man coming in second with 140, and Slice taking third with 115. That is the third day in a row that Champion has come out on top. Wow. So I don't know what's in the water wherever Champion's drinking it.
A scramble atop the week. Get to the weekly cumulative. That's the people. Whoa.
Look at this. Look at this, folks. We are tied 1 and 2. Slice and Joanna Man, both 535 points. Champion still cannot shake off that early Monday 0 at 480. It looks like Champion's out of this for the week, honestly. And it's all going to come down to tomorrow for Slice and Juana Man to see who takes home that IOU NFT.
Incredible. That IOU NFT has unlimited upside. It's perfectly elastic. It could be infinite. It could approach the asymptote towards infinity.
I mean, if there's one IOU NFT I would want to win, it would be the first one. That's a fact.
Right.
I mean, there's only one number one.
Even though in the fine print, it does say that it's just not the first one. It's just one.
Well, yeah, it's not the first one of the future NFT drop, but it is the first one of this IOU set.
For the other one.
Yeah. But it, right. I mean, yeah, they'll have to read the fine print. So that's on them. Taking a look at the prompt for tomorrow. What is the origin of the phrase "happy as a clam"?
Happy as a clam.
Happy as a clam. So hopefully, it's not dystopian. I don't know. It would seem tough to make that into a dystopian feature, but
I want to be happy as a clam tomorrow when we read these.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? All right, let's see, what else do we have to do? Obviously, we got to take a look at the top 5 sentences of the day as curated by Storybot 3000.
Let's do it.
Number 5, coming from Dragon Attack. Hold up, you're telling me the boom in reptilian boomtan means it was made by boomers, and we're the dinosaurs? Huh? Just
silly boomers.
Silly boomers. Dinotan is for boomers. Number 4, coming from Slice. Don't be a pale Eosaurus this summer. Just a great pun to open up the.
How is that not number 1? That's brilliant.
That's really in there. Number 3 from Juana Man, that all too familiar theme song of the most annoying commercial blasted from the TV and reverberated into the unwanting eardrums of Tommy. Just really given that jolt of sound and energy into Tommy's life where it's really not supposed to be there. Number 2 from Slice again. What about the pterodactyl testing they do to make it? Are you silent on that P too?
Oh wow. I didn't pick up on the pun there. Slice, the wordplay. Mwah!
Slice was really hitting some good strides today. Number 1 came from Champion. As the chamber quieted from the screams of the now devoured scientist, Senator Rex stared down his meaty nose, adjusted his spectacles with his Dino Corp arm extenders, trademark, skin bronzed from a daily Dino Tan regimen. Just really amplifying the action.
If we had the illustration contest ready to go, this just begs. It begs for a picture contest.
That sure does. That sure does. Right you are, regular. So there you have it, folks. That's wrapping up another edition of Clash of the Pencils nightly live stream. So until next time, I guess we'll see you out on the paper.
Ding-a-ling-a-ding-dong. Ding-a-ling-a-ding-dong. Do you want to participate in the Clash of the Pencils and Story Squad universe? It's easy. Join us on Twitter or in our Discord server at Story Squad HQ. There's lots of ways to participate. Draw some fan art. Play our addictive game of jokes and master strokes, Word Hoax. Or join Greg's monthly book club. And as always, remember to pay your cat tax. Money, fame, and love can all be found here at Story Squad.